And welcome to another episode of RGDS. Welcome to 2026. It sounds scarily futuristic, that. Joining me, as always, is, of course, Gordon King. How are you, buddy? How's things?
Hello. Happy New Year to yourself and Happy New Year to all our listeners.
I know. It's been feels like it's been a long while with Christmas and that in between.
It's nice to get a little break and indulge in oneself and gaming. And that's what I've done over that period of time. Is just, I was off for 2 weeks solid and I just quite simply gamed my tits off. So, hey.
Oh, you're lucky. As I say, I worked quite a bit over Christmas time.
Right.
Yeah. One of the difficulties I have with gaming at the moment is as I say, just with Mira, as any little kid, they just want to play everything you're playing, isn't it? So, yeah. But no, it's good. It's good. But I don't know. I am my New Year resolution, and I've been good so far, which is better than I normally am at this time of year. My New Year resolution is to not continually buy games, play what I have. That's what I'm doing.
I would like to say I'm wanting to do that, and I say that to myself, and then I see things at a good price on the sales. I'll just grab it now and I'll play it later. And it could be a year or 2 years' time before I even fire it up.
Yeah, I've got so many games like this. I'm at the point now where I say, "Oh, that game looks good," and then I go to buy it, and then I've found out like 3 years ago I bought it. I've not played it.
I know that feeling. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah.
So I'm trying to be good, but we'll see how long it lasts. I don't know. But I did splurge on the other side of Christmas, like before Christmas. I bought quite a few games, so yeah.
Yeah.
Brill. Well, as I say, today we thought we would do something a little bit sort of light and fluffy, but I think quite good as well. So yeah, one of the things I have been enjoying over Christmas is playing the Antstream again, because I picked it up when it was a lifetime license. That time it was like 80 quid for the lifetime license, but I don't regret buying it because I do find, and I'll be interested to hear what you think, but I do find that it's quite a good curated library of games with a lot of hidden gems.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
And the other thing I love with it is its challenge modes and things like that, because that kind of fits with, it's a bit like playing those caravan modes, isn't it? Where it kind of fits with my lifestyle that I can just quickly have a few goes, play it, see how I get on, and then get called away to do something. So it's quite cool. So what we thought we'd do, I've chosen 6 games. I've tried to go with curveballs. Don't worry if you don't have Antstream, because of course you can play all of these games through emulators and things like that. Don't feel you have to be exclusive to Antstream. But yeah, I just thought it would be fun to like call out some of the fab games in the library. We've just chosen 6, isn't it, Kingy?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
But before we begin into the show itself, let's talk about what we've been up to retro-wise. So, Kingy, what have you been up to retro-wise?
Right, well, I spent some of the Christmas because I got some Christmas money off, folks and that, and I've always been wanting one. And I swithered and I've put it in the basket as many times before and didn't bother, but I saw it at a good price for about £90, and I bought the Commodore 64 Maxi.
Oh, yes, yeah.
At Christmas here. So, to be honest, it's not that long arrived, and I've just had such a busy time this side of New Year because it's the wife's 50th birthday and all the rest, and we're out celebrating that, and so I've just not had time to sit down and indulge playing it. Of course, I fired it up and had a little go and just looked at the games that were included on it, and I've got the USB stick already with every single game. That whole completeness thing you have to do.
It's done by the same company that did like
Retro Games Limited. That's right.
So it's the Spectrum and the Amiga, and
that's right. And of course, like anyone else, we've all pre-ordered the Amiga Maxi, and I've got the Spectrum, and I've even got the Atari 8-bit as well. So I just, you know what, I do like the collection of these, and I do like firing them up and having a bit, authentic, in inverted commas, authentic fun.
It does make a difference, doesn't it? Yeah,
it does. I think it does. The only thing, I know the Commodore 64 Ultimate was out, and I look, if money was not an option, and to get a real proper clicky keyboard and whatnot, I would indulge in such a thing like that. We are speaking about £300 for that or something. And I know how much or how little I play my Spectrum next. I still fire it up and all the rest. And obviously, I've explained before, the trouble with that is most of my Spectrum next game playing because of doing the stuff for the Crash Next magazine, that we need to take screenshots. So it forces me to play it under emulation for the sole purpose of, playing the game and reviewing it, obviously, but at the same time taking cool screenshots as you progress through the game. So it's kind of killed that to a certain degree, if you know what I mean, simply because of the nature of the beast.
Well, I suppose you could, because I've got like a HDMI recorder, so you could get something like that.
I could, but the trouble is, even taking screen dumps from that, even though they say it upscales and all the rest, they're not print quality. There's a few people that have tried them to the Ben that lays out the magazine. And he comes back complaining these are not, they'll just come back, almost JPEG-y, if you know what I mean, on the print. They're not of high resolution that you think. But that by the by, I quite like it. It's quite enjoyable. I can't wait to play my curated list of games that I want to play. Because I think the included games on this one, there's some bona fide classics. And equally then, on top of it, there's utter turkeys that you wouldn't even wish on your worst enemies. So it's a very strange list on it. And that's fine. I mean, it's not about it. You can put the USB stick in, but it's all about, it's nice seeing if you were easily able to modify the carousel for yourself and make it your curated list, your top 50 or 60 or 64 games on it. So let's have 64 of my favourite games, and that'll be cooler. But it's fine. The only thing that slightly disappointed me, I wasn't really prepared for it, was the sponginess of the keyboard. It absolutely feels nothing at all like a Commodore 64
that's
keyboard.
A shame, isn't it? Yeah. They could get that right.
Yeah. It just doesn't feel right. And typing away in it, because I was ready for it. You know that good positive feel that a Commodore keyboard has. It's one of the better keyboards out there, aside from, say, the BBC Micro. But it's a small thing. And how many times I've been playing some text adventures on it, but how many times am I really going to be typing on it beyond key presses on playing games and whatnot? So you might argue then you may as well just got the Mini, because how often are you using the keyboard and that, blah, blah, blah. No, there's something about, like when I got the Spectrum, I mean, I play these games on keys on the Spectrum, but obviously Commodore doesn't really always support keyboard on gaming. You've got to have the joystick. But no, I needed to get it. I was always wanting it, and it would be something that if I didn't get further down the line, I'll just probably regret it. So I just bit the bullet, Paul, and went to hang with it. I've got money over Christmas from people, and I'd rather than wasting it on silly small things. Collectively, just
I've been really tempted, but I'm being good at the moment. You've seen that in television. That
was also in my basket at the same time as this, because it dropped down in price to, but was it 75 quid it dropped down to?
Yeah, you sent me that, and I was like, oh, but no, it's been expensive this Christmas. But I
think you nailed it with that though. It's a harder machine to emulate, not in terms of fidelity, but because of the bespoke controllers with the cards that you slipped over the buttons and all the functions. That's
what's so cool with it, is that the controllers are pretty much full size. So to our, we're showing the video version, but to our listeners, with the television was like the main competitor to the Atari 2600, really, and it had these weird like number pad controllers with like a disc control for the joystick. And what you could do is you could put overlays over the buttons, and that would tell you for the game what to press. So I mean, you don't need it. You could press just 1, 2, 3 and know what the buttons do. But obviously, putting the overlay meant that you it tells you what it does.
Yeah.
So quite cool. I mean, one of the things nice with that device, which was also done by was it Atari games, that one? Or?
Yeah, it's Atari. Yeah. That's like quite ironic that they buy the IP off their direct competitor and release.
Yeah.
Release it
but what's cool is all 48 games that are on the device. You, like with retro games, you can put every game on it, every Intellivision game on it. But all 48 of those games, it comes with the overlays, which I thought was a nice touch. So, there's a lot to love with it. But then I was thinking, I'm probably like most of our listeners, I don't really have nostalgic memories of playing the Intellivision. I've obviously dipped in and enjoyed my time through emulators. And I was just worried, is it going to be like the Atari 800 where it just sits on the shelf and I don't really play it
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for me, I've treated myself with the arcade fight box control stick, because you know how for years and years I've been saying, I really want an arcade stick that I can use with a trackball, like a proper arcade trackball, because some of my favourite games like Centipede and Crystal Castles and things and Missile Command, they all use that trackball, and it just doesn't feel right in the home. And, I saw it again in the sale. It was down to 160, which sounds a lot, but it is proper Sanwa parts and the proper arcade level buttons and everything. Anyway, it came through, took a while to arrive, but I absolutely adore it. I mean, I was really surprised we've tried a lot of makeshift things, haven't we? And we did that trackball episode and
that's right.
Like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we bought that device that sort of, basically the mouse trackball.
Yeah, sort of works.
Yeah. And it just never feels right. I mean, you got it close, but it doesn't feel like the real deal, like when you go to Arcade Club and play the real deal. And this, I was really impressed, like straight out of, without no messing about, it just seemed to be going at the right speed on the ball and just felt, Centipede felt exactly like it was an Arcade Club. And it glows blue, and my love of glowing things.
You love your balls glowing blue.
I love my blue balls. Yeah. But it's been good fun. But I'm like you. I've just not had much time to sit down and play it. And again, the beautiful Mira, the granddaughter, she also likes the things that glow. So she's been. She keeps kicking me off when I do try to play it.
Oh, bless.
Yeah. But no, that's good. So, Christmas was good for you then. Yeah.
It was. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I sat and done a community playthrough with Tomb Raider 4. The remastered, you got remastered trilogies, part 1 and part 2.
I've not bought the part 2, the 3 to 6, the part 2?
Yeah. 3 to 6, yeah. So sat and played that through to completion and had a good conversation about it with a few of the listeners. So that was fantastic, because that's a very involving and underrated Tomb Raider game. So that was probably I didn't think it would take as long as it did, but in the end it was like about 31 hours gameplay time to complete it. And I was like, obviously with lots of mistakes and head scratching and cursing and swearing and whatnot, but it's a value for money, those remastered remakes.
Yeah, I really want to pick it up. Again, it's a situation where, I haven't completed the first one. So I thought, well, until I complete it, I really ought to, hold off.
I can give you the key for it, because I've already bought it and I got it on the Steam sale cheap. And this month's Humble Choice, that's part of it. So I'll just send you the key.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I wouldn't say
you
that.
have it.
Awesome. It will go to my Game of Shame library of all the games I plan to play when I never retire.
Yeah. Accurate.
Excellent. Right, any more you want to say before we get to the games themselves?
No, I mean, I think, to be honest, playing these games as well was equally a good part of the holidays, to be honest, Paul. So I thoroughly enjoyed them, because obviously it's your list. You came with this selection. I was delighted with all of them. So let's go on to that.
Yeah, so well, first of all, just in case there's any of you out there, I know in the past we've done the odd show about Antstream, but just to explain what Antstream is. So Antstream is a sort of a cloud gaming service done by a UK company, I believe, and certainly European. And what they essentially do is that they work to a curated list of old games, goes a mixture of arcade and Spectrum and C64 and CPC, but also it's got like SNES and Mega Drive and some 32-bit games as well, isn't it? It's quite a library. And it's so the first thing I'll say the things I like about it, and then we'll ask Kingy, because I've encouraged you to at least do a year of it, haven't I?
Yeah.
So the reason I'm quite a fan of it is because they really know their stuff when it comes to the games, and there's a lot of interesting indie games and hidden modern sort of like games for the Spectrum and things like that didn't come out in the day, that modern homebrew. But also you've got like some really good lesser known arcade games along with the big hitters like your Pac-Man and Pac-Mania and all of those sort of things. So it's just, I find it quite exciting, because of the ease of access. It gets me just like, I'll just play that, like I'll just pick up and play a Spectrum game that I haven't played for years, just because it's easy to play and just play through. But the thing I particularly love is the challenges, because the challenges and leaderboards I really, really like, because so a lot of the games have leaderboards so you can see where you are, but they also have challenge modes, and that's where there's some which is how long can you live on one life, how far can you get? But there's other ones, and usually these games have other things that you can do, such as, I don't know, like it will give you a particular level, but they've switched off your main firepower button, or they've how fast can you do it? There's a nice eclectic range of things, and I love that, because not only do you have the challenges, and with them you can like challenge your friends or other people, or you can do like a Grandmaster challenge where you just like, you've got one attempt and then you put it out there and see if people can beat you.
Yeah.
And they also do regular tournaments, which I thought was cool as well. And what I love with that, you pay. So when I say pay, all of it's like gem currency. You can't buy with real money. It's just to stop people bombarding and everybody with challenges all the time. That's why they do it. But the tournament I find really, really good fun as well, because it's just so addictive to see, oh, look, I'm number 5 in the world, or Antstream world, which is kind of cool. So that's what I think about it. What do you think about it, Kingy?
On principle, I always liked the idea of it, and it was like many of us were initial backers of the Kickstarter of it, or whatever it was just before it launched, about, it's a good while back now.
Yeah, several years ago now,
And on principle and on paper, this is good, a good curated list where you can choose the games, as you said, then the game challenges, which I thought, that's perfect. Mini games. I think you alluded to it quite good and compared it to caravan mode, short burst playing, where it be within a time frame, where it be one life, where it be do an objective. It just depends on the games and how they cleverly code on top of the game to make this functionality happen, because it's recording your score in the game, and you may have the high score table in the game where you put your 3 letters in, as you normally do like in any of the arcade games. But then when you come out of it, you can look at, as you said, at the league tables of how well your score compares against other Antstream players, or filter it just to your friends. So if you've got friends, or lack of, it's there to be seen, and that can be quite competitive. The challenges themselves, I should play them more, but I think it's just when I see a game, I want to play the game. I don't want to say play level 4 and see how well you do in level 4. It's like jumping in halfway through a book. It's not the way the game's meant to be, in my eyes, if you know what I mean, right? I quite like just playing a game in a very linear fashion from the start to the end for me. But that's not to say I haven't partaken in a number of the challenges just to see how crap I am, pretty much. You think, I've done all right there, and you look at your 2,543 in the league, and then you're scrolling up the list, and it goes up in 10 points, but eventually when you get to the big boys, it's like hundreds of thousands. There's no way, and then it's just off-putting. There's like always someone infinitely better than you.
Oh, yeah,
playing these games.
But then there's people that have got a lot more time than us to be able to play and master these games. But
absolutely.
No, I agree. I mean, one of the things that put me off when it first started, it's got a little bit better, but it's still not perfect, is the fact that it's streaming. So sometimes you get like tearing of the screen and things. Yeah.
That was niggling me.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the thing that niggles me with it is because they're so small, these games. I don't know why they have to stream it. Why they can't like just temporarily, every time you load it, just put it on your...
It's probably something to do with their license agreements.
Yeah. I'm sure there's some valid reason. But anyway, I'm happy with it, and one of the things I like diving through them. So I thought, let's try and choose 6 games for people to enjoy. Now, as we said at the top end of this show, of course, it's just 6 games, so you don't need Antstream for this or anything like that. It's just 6. So it was just a theme of good games for people to enjoy. And I think we've got a nice eclectic range mixturing of homebrews and different platforms, isn't it? I think it's quite cool here.
Yeah, for sure. I think one more thing I'd like to add in just before we go on to the games, and Paul, is the main thing that normally put me off Antstream was, I mean, it always goes full size, okay? So these retro games are very pixely and very blocky on full screen mode, and as much as people have said on the Discord channel and on the forums, you really need to consider adding some filters and shaders that are optional. Some people don't care about them. Some people, it niggles them. It annoys me more so, not in the 8-bit era. The 8-bit era pixely look seems to work, but see, for the 16-bit period, it's just so busy on the eyes. It was hurting. Like playing one of the games in particular tonight, the platformer we're going to choose. It was just so painful to look at. I was enjoying the game, but it was always my gripe with Antstream, because I am a person that will put on scan lines or simulate some kind of CRT effect. Okay, but I was glad then when I came across a free app called Shader Glass.
Yes, I need to try it. Can you tell the listeners?
It is wonderful.
Yeah.
And it has got so many presets that you can tweak, but within each preset then there's the sliders just to tweak it the way you want it. So if you want more bloom, you can add more bloom. If you want a slight hint of ghosting, like some, slightly worn CRTs would do, yes, you can. Or if you want scan lines off and curvature, things like that. That's all available. Equally, you can tell it if it's a game as a horizontal game or a vertical game. So it's wonderful. And it's free. So we'll put that in the show notes, right? Now, that's for, unfortunately, the bad news is that is for PC owners only. But I was doing a little bit of research for our Mac friends out there. There is a very equivalent called Retrovisor. So I'll equally put that in the show notes as well. So if you're on a Mac or a PC, unfortunately, obviously, if you're like yourself, Paul, you predominantly play it on your Xbox.
I only have the Xbox.
There's no options.
Because that's one of the things. I mean, one of the good things, I guess, is that all the challenges and leaderboards are shared across systems. So if you've got mates on, like Kingy's playing it on PC, but he can see me on who's got it on Xbox. The downside is, which is, I get why they've done it, but your purchase, whether you do lifetime or yearly or whatever, is only on the platform that you pay it for. So it's not the case you can buy it on the PC and then play it on Xbox or PS.
Yeah, that's just the way the marketplace stores work, unfortunately, within the systems. That's the unfortunate thing, because people have complained about that. They have explained it in depth why that is the case.
To me, I'm not too upset with it. It's just, it is what it is, isn't it? It's, I certainly don't feel ripped off paying for that lifetime license, when it was in, 80 quid. I know it seems a little bit eye-watering, but I have dipped in over the years with it. So, I've certainly got my money's worth. Anyway, should we go on to the games themselves?
Yes, let's go.
Soon. So, right, okay, with, no particular order, really. I guess maybe alphabetical, actually. So, the first game is Modern Homebrew, but for the 2600. And I'd never even heard about it, to be honest, until I saw it on Antstream, as I worked through the list, as I often do. And it is awesome. I mean, King, do you want to explain it to our listeners?
Yeah, sure. So obviously it follows on from the first one, Alien Holocaust, where you've got the abduction of the main protagonist, Bruce, and they were certain they were going to dominate the planet Earth. These pesky aliens! And in this game, it's like that. I love that back in the day it used to happen. The sequel, you got to play the baddies. You got to play the aliens in this one. So in true iconic, 2600, you've just got this proper old school shooter that gives the nostalgias. That's all I can describe. A modern game that you wished existed back in the day.
But it plays on real Atari hardware if you had it.
Yeah, there's physical versions that you can purchase. And I think that's the only thing missing from playing on an Antstream is there's something about clunking an Atari 2600 cartridge into the machine and playing just as you did. I mean, it was the first proper gaming system out with, your Binatone or Grandstand Pong variants. This was the first experience for many of us of our age, late 70s, early 80s, before we got our home computers. And everything from just the instant recognizable visuals of an Atari 2600 and the sound effects as well. So you play the UFO, and I suppose the first level is a bit like Blitz or games like that, where you'll start off from Brazil. Okay, you go around the major cities in the world, and the cityscape that you see is just the skyscrapers are made out of lines, and it's meant to replicate. How does that look like Brazil, and how does the other place look like London or whatever? Or there's no real iconic landmarks per se, but the idea is just to flatten the skyline by knocking down the skyscrapers, avoiding jets and helicopters and tanks at the bottom. And then the next wave is, you get to use a tractor beam to lift up the humans all running in a panic from the destroyed buildings that you've done. And then it moves on.
Well, I love because you also get the one where they're sort of running backwards and forwards, the little guys, and when you shoot them, they sort of like catapult in the air, and you have to catch them. Beam.
That's the tractor beam.
Oh, I thought you meant because there's another level where
it's a bigger one. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Sorry, a major one. Yeah,
that's more the tractor beam for me.
I suppose. Yeah, I suppose you're right. Yeah. That's picking up cattle and stuff like that. The whole method.
Oh, is it supposed to be a cattle? Is that?
That's meant to be cattle.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that makes more sense now. I thought it was like an old granny or something.
An old granny. But there you go. You kind of get the gist of this, folks, where back then, because of the rudimentary blocky graphics of the old Atari there, it's open to interpretation what you think each thing represents. But what a delightfully wonderful and very simple game. It's hugely addictive. I don't think I can grind as much as some of the Antstream players have done to get the high scores. I'm always up to about maybe 300 and went, okay, then I've played it enough. Maybe back in the day, I would have been even more hooked.
Well, I find it very addictive though, because you got like all these different crafts and things, and flying across trying to shoot you, and you got cannons on the ground. And of course, the one thing we haven't said is there's like your home force field bar along the top.
Oh, that's right. It's a bit like Yar's Revenge in that way.
And you have to replenish your weaponry by going into the blue bar. So there's a lot of cleverness with it. Really, it's amazing what this guy was at Fernando Salvio has done. It's a real love letter what he's done here to the Atari classics. And you're right. This would have blown anybody away. If this had come out in the day. But even coming out was it a couple of years ago, 2024, the sequel. Even coming out just a couple of years ago. As I say, when I was like working my way through the lists, as I do to discover games I don't know, and I had a beaming smile on my head, like playing this, and it's quite unlike a lot of games back in the day. It allows you to continue, which is kind of cool. So even if you lose all your lives, you can carry on from the country that you were last.
There's modern considerations within the game which you wouldn't have got back in the day, that's right.
But yeah, I had a blast playing with this. I thought it was
really
genuinely
good.
Beautiful. Yeah.
It's not often we get a chance to play a 2600 game or a more sort of modern one, and we've covered all the best of the Atari from back at that point, in earlier podcasts. It's not as easy to return to the system as other systems are. So yeah, it was because I played them in the same order you gave them there. So that was it. If this was an opener of how it's going to be, I was well pleased.
Oh, good. Yeah, no, it's definitely recommended. And for those who don't, who want to try it, it's on itch.io, isn't it? So you can buy it for the PC. It's only €5.99 in euros. So I don't know what that, or more, obviously, if you want to give him more money. But yeah, no, I think that's I just think it's lovely. Oh, and there's also a free demo if you want to just see what it's like yourself before you buy. So yeah, no, I think it's a delightful game, and I also see that this 2025 he released the PAL version. So obviously, it doesn't really matter with an emulator, but if you are searching for the physical releases that there are dotted around, then you can sort of like dive in and enjoy the real deal, which is nice, isn't it?
Yeah, or even some people are lucky enough to have the flash carts for the Atari as well.
I really want to put it on because I when I got the Atari 50th anniversary. Not the digital one, but the I got the what was it? The gold mini type thing. But one of the reasons I got that is because you could hack it to put every game that somebody had done a pack of. But I might try because you can add games obviously to it.
Yeah, you know why? Because you haven't played this game properly until you've played it with an Atari joystick and broken your wrist in half with a strain moving left and right.
Yeah. No, I agree. But it's a good game to start with. I mean, we've covered all the levels. I mean, it doesn't really do much more than that apart from all the different countries. And, as Kingy says, I mean, it's quite cute. Yeah, it's very rudimentary. It's just lines and the skyline tries to make it look a little bit like the country. But yeah, you'd have to really sort of believe it, don't you? But there is some cool thing. I like there's some levels where there's that train going backwards and forwards.
Yeah, the tram or train backwards and forwards. You have to destroy that. Yeah. So it's quite cool. It's done well. You'd probably argue it's pushing the 2600 to its limits.
Oh, definitely. No, I mean, this is as I say, it's some of the modern homebrews on the 2600 really are stunning. I mean, of course, they have modern tools, don't they? Which makes it a lot easier for them. But
of course.
But even so, very, very impressive. So, Kingy, what would you give that then? What's your rating for that one then?
I'm going to give that. Giving it respect of the platform it's on, I'm going to give that a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. That's pretty good. Yeah. Pretty good. We're starting strong.
Yeah.
Okay. So, shall we go on to the next game then? Yeah, so let's go on to the next game, and this one is a real favourite of mine. I loved it back in the day, and it was done by, it was done by Chrysalis Software, who, of course, was started up by Gremlin alumni of Peter Harrap and Sean Hollingworth and Tony Kavanagh. So, of course, they also did things like on Tech Software and things like that, but Chrysalis, they did so many interesting, fun games. But this one, what is it? It is Arabian Nights. This is a wonderful platform game. Only came out on the Amiga and the Amiga CD32, so it will have passed a lot of people by. But I think it's a real wonderful hidden gem. Came out in 1993, and it's all about, you play Sinbad Jr., who's a gardener in the royal palace, and he falls in love and he's busy porking the princess. Yeah, basically he's busy porking the princess, and then and then there's an evil demon kidnaps the princess. Yeah, and he goes off. He gets locked up in the castle, and then you have to go and save them. That's basically it. But isn't this such a beautifully polished game? First of all, it's got amazing music by Matt Furness, and I just love it because although it's got the floaty controls, it looks absolutely gorgeous visually. There's so many hidden secrets, but it's also got those little puzzles where, okay, they're not particularly complex, find a key for a door, or, there's one of the early ones is you get enough coins. There's a guy that's trapped, isn't he, hanging by his hands, and if you help him escape, he'll give you something, and then you have to work out how to. Yeah, but let's get on about the innuendo and alone, right? So you need something like a crank to lower him down, right? And it's on the early level, so it's not spoiling too much. So you have to get a snake with rigor mortis, basically, to so. It was basically, once you get enough coins, right, it was like, you can make your snake rigid. It's telling you in the game's like, fanar, so it's like, oh, yeah. Humour, isn't it? Yeah, very much. It says, bring me 65 jewels, and you can buy the snake from him. So that's one of the things. It makes you not necessarily completely backpedal all over the game, but you do need to revisit certain sections a couple of times, perhaps, so. Well, unless you know where the secrets are, then on the level 1 you don't have to. But you're right, and some of the levels. Yeah. But there's lovely. It is one of the exciting things with it is discovering all the secrets, because they're quite well hidden. You know, you'll find them in doorways if you crouch down, or there's hidden walls that will unlock, and. Actually playing it for this with Antstream, because one of the challenges was how much score can you make in just the first level. Yeah. It got me to really play the first level, like, or to see how far I got, but play through. And I discovered one hidden area which I've never discovered all the times I played it on the Amiga days. And there's a magic lamp somewhere hidden on the level, I'll just say that. And it's just, you just feel so good sort of like finding it, you know what I mean? Yep. And that's what I kind of like, getting to play it. But I mean, was this new to you, this one? Completely. I don't know how I avoided this back in the day. Yeah, but we covered it in one of the episodes. Maybe you weren't on that episode. I don't know. It wasn't me. Yeah, but anyway, well, that's why we thought if Kingy can't remember and I can't remember when it was a long time ago, so we might as well do it again. What did you think coming at it fresh? Oh, I thought it was absolutely delightful. It's the kind of game I love playing anyway, and it's the kind of game that even if I was looking for nostalgic feels on the Amiga, this is exactly what I'd fire up. It's wonderful. The graphics are exceptional. It is. To be honest, as many times as they tried to make a console-esque platformer on the Amiga, and it's not to insult the Amiga, we've kind of spoken about that in the past, how it didn't quite get to a lot of the games didn't get to the finesse and quality of a lot of the Japanese games that, whether it be your Sonics or your Marios or anything in between. Yeah. There was always a charm on the Amiga. A lot of times a British charm or a European charm of the games that we played and loved. And you adored them for it because they were like that. But this should have been a very successful game on multi-platform, in my opinion. That's how well it's done. Visually, graphically, and with very high
quality level design. The level design's up there with some of the best. That's probably what I'm trying to say there.
I'm surprised they didn't bring it to the Mega Drive, isn't it? I mean, because, it does have, it does hold its own with its own sort of like charm. And I mean, and I just love, as you say, I love the humour. I mean, like there's one bit where you get to the granny who's knitting you, knitting you like a magic carpet. And right. and then when you give what she needs and solve the puzzle, she's like frantically knitting, and then the place explodes.
That's right.
Knitting so far, it's just really, really cute. And and as throughout the whole game, there's just really clever secret placements for things, like intelligent things. Whereas things like they usually got a little bit happy with a lot of sort of like these European platform games where they just put secrets everywhere, but without much thought, where it just becomes a grind. This is really, that perfect blend where it encourages you to get that 100% or as close as you can. Although I have looked, because it was sending me crazy. In level 1, I could only get like either 85% or 88%.
Yeah, I was getting 85, yeah.
Yeah, and it was driving me nuts, and I went through all the magazines of the day, see where all the hidden secrets, if I could find anything. And could I find anything? And it turns out, reading forums, that no one can find it, and they think there was something on level 1 where they took something away, probably for memory constraints, and therefore it's totally impossible to get any more than 88%. So I'll say that for everybody's sanity, if you are trying to get, like, if you are like a completionist and you're trying to get it. But I know with Christmas things you might not have had too much time with it. But did you see any of the other levels, Kingy? Or
I got beyond the first flying carpet level.
Oh, well done.
After many takes and dying on the flying carpet level, because basically once you get that and the granny knits you, it's a scroll and shoot 'em up with the iconic gradient Amiga skyline. If you have not got a gradiated Amiga skyline, then it's not an Amiga game, is it?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's charming. It's just frustratingly annoying. I lost more lives on that. So I got on to the Galleon on level 4.
Oh, very good. Well, you did well then.
I really enjoyed it. I'm going to go back, and to be honest, it'll be one of these things now I'll fire up on Amiga Vision or Pi Amiga and use save states.
Well, you can use save states on you can do that on Antstream, but yeah, you're right. Playing it on the proper deal. yeah. No, it is. It's so good when you do save states.
All you can do is on the main menu, you can make the game easy, which I think you lose less energy on your life bars, and you can increase your lives up to about 6 lives or something. That's all the flexibility you had in this game. But the more you played it, the more you knew what was coming up. It's not the levels that are the problem, it's the shoot 'em up section. I'm shit at shoot 'em ups.
Yeah, and it is difficult. I lost all my lives on that one, yeah.
Yeah, it's the balance is just not quite there. But it's a nice, bit breathing space. I quite like the whole idea of the flying carpet, obviously with the Arabian Nights and that anyway.
Yeah.
So it's still a delightful inclusion in the game. I don't have any qualms with it. I just need to get better. The more I play it, the more I will. It's just the thought of doing all the earlier levels again.
Yeah, no.
You've lost all.
It was driving me nuts, because I would say I was obsessed with doing one of the challenges, which was how long can you live on one life?
Yeah.
And with that one, I got as far as, so after the end of level 2, you have the end of level boss.
Yep.
Yeah. And
he chucks rocks at you.
Chucks rocks at you. And I just, every single time, because I'm a bit like, whereas shoot 'em ups is your Achilles heel, my Achilles heel is remembering
boss
the
fights
patterns of boss fights. Yeah, particularly when you've only got one life, you make one mistake. Which, of course, that's not how it is when you play the game properly. But on the challenge, it was because I was like, I think I got. I'm probably being knocked several numbers down, but that particular challenge, I was like number 5. That was the highest I've ever got on like a Antstream challenge. So I was like really chuffed. But yeah, it's it's frustrating. But I'm glad I've introduced you to another new game because
it's amazing. I love it. I love it. Have you not noticed the uncanny resemblance of Sinbad Jr., right? He just looks like soccer kid with a fez.
Well, it's done by the same team. That's why.
Yeah,
obviously, they did Antstream first.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Antstream. They did Arabian Nights first. I got Antstream on the head. They did Arabian Nights first, and then the same team, Darren Hebden and things like that. Who also did the artwork. He did things like Soccer Kid and what other ones? Manchester United, you know, their game on the Amiga Premier League. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's gone on to do lots of things over the years, you know, like some of the PlayStation ports of Z or Z, whatever we call it, you know, and things like that. But I mean, he's even was involved in some of the level designs of, you know, the Wallace and Gromit adventures and things like that.
Okay.
So yeah, really talented team, and you know, you've got just an awful lot of fun, really. Yeah, really good programmers, really good artists. It just was, you know, I mean, that's really why Chrysalis did so well. You know, the publisher and developers, you know, because they, well, with such a former Gremlin top brass, you had some real quality talent, and they knew, you know, real quality people. Because Simon Pashley's went on to do sort of like, you know, studio heads for Sony and things like that. And you know, I mean, he's done countless things. You know, he's gone on to do and, you know, helped with the production of Heavy Rain on the PS3 and stuff like that. So yeah, really talented team. I
think so, because I think it conveys the coding skills that they really got some of the best out of the Amiga in this game.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Right. And it is so quality. And nice variety to the levels as well, because it's not just different, like visually different. You know, you got everything from snow, underwater, all the usual.
Oh, underwater swimming sections.
Yeah, but also there's nice puzzles, and they keep the secrets quite fresh, and yeah, you know, it's one where every level feels that little bit different.
Yeah,
you know, as you work your way through. So
I agree. Really good. Really enjoyable.
Good. So this is another one that you sound like you're quite a fan of.
Oh, big fan.
Yeah. So and this is one of the things I do love with Antstream is that because it's very UK centric, they put Spectrum. You're not afraid to do games that probably like people in America and other regions would be think, what the hell is this game here for?
Yeah,
because they don't remember. But I think that's quite exciting, and particularly for people, you know, a lot of our listeners and some of our global listeners, you know, because the Amiga, as we've discussed before, is quite a difficult game machine to emulate and get your head around. So, you know, and same as like Spectrum and things like that, it's like a ball ache if you don't know what you're doing. So it's nice having a service like this that does do quality games of all these platforms that perhaps a lot of, you know, I'm always encouraged when, you know, you get like you watch, I don't know, somebody American or Canadian on YouTube or whatever, and they're discovering like a Spectrum game or an Amiga game that's new to them, but of course is we adore and love. So another class. So it sounds like I've got another positive choice here. So
yeah, score wise, I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10.
Awesome. There'd be fisticuffs. I'd be putting on my fighting trousers if it was less than No, that's cool. Right. So shall we go on to our third game then?
Yeah, sure.
So, as you heard with the music there, this is an interesting one which maybe passed a lot of people by. It is Doko Don, which is basically, well, I'll let Kingy explain this one because I talked so much about the other one.
Well, riding on the crest of success of games like Bubble Bobble and such, you know, the single screen platformer, whatever you want to call them, games like Bubble Bobble, right? And Taito in 1989 released. this one. And in a very similar fashion, you can play 1 or 2 players where you control dwarf guys with their mallets or their sledgehammers, whatever you want to call it, and all the creatures all appear in that. You get to hammer them, which renders them unconscious. Then you can pick them up to throw. You can, either smash them against the wall or create combo chains to smash other creatures on the levels. Doing that results in fruit appearing, which you can then all collect and pick them up. So that's pretty much the game in a nutshell. The graphics are absolutely spectacular. Very much of their time, but so colourful, so detailed. It remembers me of the kind of high-end SNES games that we've covered in the past, Paul, with that kind of detail, just excellent pixel artists giving you a really, sumptuous visual treat where you're playing games of this nature where even the level designs, each of the level designs, was 40 levels in the game or something. Well, initially like 40 levels.
Yes, because there is levels. Yeah, you have to play it a few times to get the final.
That's right, the good ending, bad ending, secret levels and whatnot. So where are you like Bubble, where you're like, what's the game I'm looking for, Paul?
Rodland?
Yes, Rodland. So that's the one I was looking for. It's more akin to Rodland rather than anything else, to be honest. And it's a delight. I've never been lucky enough to play this really in the arcades.
No, I've never. I think the first time I personally discovered it wasn't the arcade one, actually. It was one of those retro events, and it was on the PC Engine or something like that. And it was,
it's meant to be a very good version. I've never played that.
Well, it was like, this is a game that I don't know. And it was like, this is actually really good fun.
Yeah.
It's got like the usual power-ups. You can do you can also get like these special sort of hurl your hammers, blue hammers, and And I also quite like as well, there's a bit of can bash the shots as well as hit them, isn't it? So it's, and I was also really impressed as I played through this, how the wide range of enemies that you encounter, they've all got, and this is where I think you're right, it fits more with like Rodland, and there's so much charm and uniqueness to a lot of the enemies that you encounter. Yeah, and the characters like so cute, isn't it? They're like 2 dwarfs, aren't they? From player 2, they're pretty much the same. I mean, they you can tell they look different, but they're pretty much the same, aren't they? Really, just different colours. But unlike Bubble, where it's just pure colour swap, they seem to have their own character, which is a nice touch. Yeah,
but so obviously Bubble has 100 levels, but obviously the good end and bad end depends if you play 2-player mode or not. In Bubble, this one, there's a secret door on level 1 you can access, and you get the extra 50 levels on that, and it's reverse world, and it's much like super mode in Bubble then, so you get to see it in that way, and that's the key to getting the good ending, is playing it that way. So it's amazing how back in the day you discover these things by serendipity, though. What did I do there to get that happening? How did I manage to open this or activate this mode? It's good, but so imagine pretty much designing 50 levels that perhaps the vast majority of people coming to put coin in your game back in arcades that day had no clue even existed.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, and again, there is a lot of things like with Rodland as well, isn't it? Because that was very similar, that it had the hidden levels, the pyramid levels. But yeah, no, I thought this was, and of course this has end level bosses. Well, not end level, but end world bosses and things that you encounter, and they're good. They're
good fun to fight the pumpkin creature and things like that. So you have again figure out how you'll lose a life every time trying to suss out how am I to defeat this one. It's costly in that way, but at least you can, if you're playing it in normal mode and not challenge mode or whatever, and Antstream, you've got. It's an arcade game. You can add more credits, play it to indefinitely, basically.
Yeah, exactly, and that's probably it's definitely one you like with Bubble. It's one you need to learn, isn't it? And learn the best way of tackling the level. Because I did find, because there's quite a lot of enemies on the screen in a lot of the levels, and although you can do like multiple hits where like when you pick them up and hurl them, when you knock them out, you can kill lots of them, but it's very easy to accidentally just run into somebody or be worrying about you pick them up because you're going to get the people on the right, and you miss that people sneaking up on you on the left. I lost so many lives like this, but yeah, it was fun playing through, because again, it's one that I've not really spent a lot of time with.
I've tapped in and out of it over the years, but you know what's missing? It's just playing it with a second player, I think, in this game. I think it would be far more fun. So if I saw this at Arcade Club, I can see me and you spending quite a considerable bit more time on it together. Just simply, it's a game of that nature. Yeah,
it'd be a fun one, isn't it? As I say, I need to. There's just so many I need to sort of like play and things. But I'm pleased because I've got 2 really good arcade sticks now. So. At home, so maybe...
Next time Charlie comes round, Charlie plug both in.
I'm hoping that Mira will start getting better at games, so I can have a partner in crime.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Then they're not interested. Trust me, they go through that phase where they play anything that that you're playing, and then they get to the stage where that's rubbish. My son never plays. Well, then again, he loves coming down to the Arcade Club. That's doing him a disservice. He loves he likes the competitions there, so maybe he should enjoy Antstream better.
Yeah, maybe. I'm impressed with your son, well, for lots of reasons. It's a credit to you, but it's not, genuinely appreciates old games and what they're doing and the natural limitations, whereas, a lot of that younger generation.
You can say your average teenager, you show them the game and they come out with the most politically incorrect term of, that's gay. That's pretty much it.
I'll go back and play Call of Duty because that's all I play. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
In fact, one of his friends came over. They were ready just before he was going back to uni. There, he was having a sort of final blow out. His friends just came back with a drink, but he was going in the shower before going out to a party.
Yeah.
And his mate was down and had a beer with his mate. And come on in, I fired up the arcade cab.
Yeah.
And I've never seen someone just being so dour over the whole thing. It's all right. It's not Minecraft. Like, oh my God. So, it's like, I just switched off.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. And you get, and I notice when, as you say, when we've had like parties and things and you get like the younger kids, they love playing the arcades, but when they get to teenagers, a lot of them, they're just like, oh, haven't you got Call of Duty? That's all they want to play.
Yeah. And all we want to do is go back to being 15-year-old and the arcade amusements still be open and spend your Friday nights down there.
But yeah, no, I love this. I mean, just, I love some of the such cute graphics, and every end of level boss and characters and the little mice with the forks and the end level boss throwing the sweets and things. I don't know. It brought me to how I was with Rodland and things, which is also on Antstream, by the way. Very, very good. But it brought me, like with Rodland and things, it's one of those that just genuinely makes you want to get to the end to see all the different enemies and things like that.
Yeah. I think you really appreciate the graphics and it's the graphical progression of the game you enjoy more than the score or anything like that, and that you can't wait to see what new enemies look like. You can't wait to see what the new environment looks like, or simply how the platforms are arranged in the next level. That's just because it is a PCR. It is. I mean, all games are a PCR, of course they are, but is so visually impressive that it needs to be highlighted, this game, that there's a lot of love and a lot of passion in the spritemanship in it. It's just absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, and I was really surprised because this back in the day got like a NES port and it got a TurboGrafx port, but no SNES or Mega Drive. It's such a shame.
Yeah, and it's weird because
the SNES, it would have shined, wouldn't it?
There's parallels with the SNES because there's a lot of scalar things going on.
Yeah. I would have been good. Now, of course, these days you can. This is on Arcade Archives, so you can pick it up that way and buy it, and it's on Antstream, as we say, and they're probably outside of course, like it's on MAME, of course. But if it's nice that you can legitimately buy it on our Arcade Archive because they always do good jobs, don't they? Arcade Archive.
Yeah, they do. I think it's on one of the Taito Memories too. Is it on that or something like that?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember seeing it, but it might be. I mean, I have discovered that quite a few games on those old packings.
We've done that in the past, haven't we? Is it? You go back and check. Bloody hell, how did I miss that?
Yeah. No, it's a really, really fun game, and yeah, definitely. I would love to play, as you say, 2-player and things, but you can't have everything. I mean, obviously with like emulators and something and Antstream, you can play locally 2-player, but sadly they don't do like across. What do you call it? Not non-locally. I don't know what the word is. It's been a long day. You can't play it remotely, can you? A 2-player.
No.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
So
no.
That's okay. So go on then. Right. Let's see where we are with this score. What did you think? Well, first of all, was this new to you or not? And I think
No. I know this game because I've always went hunting for games of this nature. So
yeah.
It's one of the. It's always a game that comes up on lists for people to try. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. I can't fault it.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Yeah, there are so many great ones out there, isn't there? With these sort of it's like relatively like only a couple of years ago. I didn't realise that. Have you ever played Joe and Matt Returns? Just as an aside,
very briefly, but not to a big degree.
That's quite a good sort of like bubble type game. Cool. Well, we're doing well here. So should we go on to the next game?
Off we go.
So as you heard with that amazing music.
Amazing.
It is another modern homebrew release game on the Amiga CD32 or 1200. And it is Reshoot-R. And wow, this is stunning sequel, because the first one was Reshoot. And
no, the first one was Shoot, then it was Reshoot, then it was Reshoot. Sorry.
They should have done that, shouldn't they? Yeah. So a little bit of history with this. So 2016 was when Reshoot came out, which was like a homebrew. You could buy a physical release, and that one you controlled a little cube. They put a lot of effort in making the Amiga sing, where it was really smooth scrolling, and they made it real sort of like 60 hertz, sort of constant, beautiful smoothness of everything. And it was good, but the trouble is with that one is it had only a handful of levels that looped, and it had some game-breaking bugs in it, which upset people today, and they didn't like them. The graphically, they didn't like it as much. So a good few years later, they released Reshoot-R, which this time you're in sort of like a diamond-shaped ship.
Butt plug, flying butt plug.
Flying butt plug. And it basically has, you go up against the waves of enemies. They're all beautifully themed, amazing music, but there's lots of power-ups that will increase both your speed of your craft and weaponry. And then when your craft will go yellow, and it will say, because it's got a wonderful sort of very Team 17 voice of, the woman saying, speed up, and things like that. And when you go yellow, you've reached max, and she'll also reiterate it. Really amazing level designs. Yeah. Stunning gameplay. I mean, I'm a huge fan of this. It's It is a AGA only, I think less because of the graphics, but more for how they're smooth. They made it needed to be 32-bit, the later Amiga, to get so many shots and things on the screen at the same time and keep it all running silky smooth. I'm a huge fan of this one. I was even before Antstream on its release. What was this new to you, this one?
Yeah, I knew of it, but never played it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in that respect, yes, it's completely new to me in that way. I know it was a respected shooter. I just never got around to playing it because it's not obviously my first choice of genre. Mm. But what I have to say is what Super Stardust did for Asteroids, this game does for the horizontal scrolling shooter like Gradius or Darius or R-Type, anything like that. It's absolutely phenomenal. Right? We know where its origins of influence are, but it takes it and runs it on steroids. The visual treat in this game is unbelievable. From the rotating 3D-esque asteroids that are all going about the first level to those brilliant tentacle eyeball things that when you have to shoot the rock that they're on, and it makes that oi 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 noise. It's the sound effects are incredible in this. It's flawless. Is it the Amiga's best shooter? Yes. Yeah. From what I've played.
Yeah, probably is. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing what they achieved. I mean, sometimes I find it frustrating. Sometimes you can't tell what you can
background
fly
from foreground.
Over. Yeah. Sometimes you're just not sure.
That happens in quite a lot of these shooters for me, to be honest. But I quite like how it's a very real-time downgrade system. So you've got all your power-ups.
Yeah.
And the minute you hit a live object, you start losing that weaponry part. There's no other visual cue apart from that. You can you stay on it too long, you've lost everything and you're dead. So there must be a few seconds between each downgrade if you want. That's the best way to describe it.
It works so well, doesn't it? Rather than give you lives.
Yes. So one life game. It's a one life game.
It's a one life game, but it's a bit like, as you say, it's like Sonic or something like that. When you got the power ups, it gives you that effectively a life if you muck it up.
But absolutely.
But and also unlike, and that's where it's quite clever, is unlike a lot of shooters on all systems, including the arcade, is sometimes if you die at the wrong point, you're screwed. Whether because you're only losing one power up item, it gives you still a fighting chance. It's tougher, but I mean, I it's got great end of level bosses that you need to learn. Great music. Great variety in the levels. I mean, level 2,
incredible,
gorgeous with the sun,
the solar flare or whatever it is.
Flares, and
absolutely stunning.
And you got sky sort of like worlds, and you always get the. I mean, I never like with a lot of these games. I never bother really following the story, but you basically have the pilot pop up at a certain point at the beginning of a world, and she'll I think she's lost and trying to get home, and there's some evil dude that's saying, this world will thwart you. And it's,
but it does feel like there's a journey in this game with the visual differences between each of the levels. To be honest, I'm going to come out there and say it's one of the best shooters I've ever played, not just because it's on the Amiga. I mean, I think the Amiga pretty much at this level on the 1200 is up there challenging a lot of the 32-bit console shooters of its time, of a similar nature. That visually, I think, is incredible. And because it's got its own unique Amiga music, with your samples and your sound, right? It's not CD audio. The trouble with CD audio is it can come from any source of audio instrumentation, whether it's a live band or whatnot, or DJs or anything, right? This is the last bastion of half synthesis, you know what I mean, right? It's how music used to be made on computers before. It's not like that anymore, and it really shines and it really shows that this is wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, no, I think it's. I really love this one. I mean, the people who made this, they did a stunning job, but basically it's just done by Richard Lowenstein, really, and Kevin Saunders, who did the graphics, and Martin Ammon that did the Sonics. It's just it's the old team of three, that you used to get, and I mean they do so well with they've done a lot of like homebrew games over the years and things like that, and it just really sort of like shines through, I think. Here. Now, also on Antstream, if people like that, there is the third game, which is Reshoot Proxima 3. And that's them trying to recreate the like a bullet hell, but vertical. Mm-hmm. I'll be honest, I didn't like that as much as the purity of the horizontal, which surprised me because I normally draw more to vertical shooters. But I certainly recommend people to try that one as well if you like Reshoot-R. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what more to say. I mean, one of the things is, as I say, you certainly need skills with Reshoot-R. But one of the things that's nice is like all good shooters, and a lot of the shooters on the Amiga back in the day muck this up, is there's always a path through. You never feel like the bullet patterns are difficult to negotiate, but there's always a path through, and you always know it's your fault rather than the games, which a lot of the Amiga games back in the day.
Well, half the times they made the sprites far too bloody big. In the game, I mean, if you think games like Agony or even Banshee, that there's no real consideration of, as much as wonderful and gorgeous and great these games are, the map needs to be considered.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. But I mean, I'm a huge fan. I'm just gonna look up how much it costs to buy today. Let's have a look here. Mm-hmm. So it's like a German game. Obviously, it's localized and things.
Spielschreiber.
Yes, is that the developer name? I didn't want to say.
Yes, developer Spielschreiber. And that actually means writing about games, by the way, if you want a literal translation.
Oh, does it?
That's cool.
Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking here. So the download version... Oh, there you go. Yeah, so like Reshoot-R, that's not too bad. It's like €18.95. So, which is, for the quality of game, that's pretty cool. Okay, that's the download version of it. Mm-hmm. But that's nice, because obviously with I might so I feel warm and fuzzy, actually buy the download version to put on my Amiga Maxi when it comes. I think it was
sitting there waiting on it.
Yeah. Their Reshoot Proxima 3 is quite expensive. That's like €30, but $29.95. But I have to say, both are on there. It looks amazing, but I thought playability, it wasn't quite there. On the sequel, but yeah, I mean, I'm still amazing, still one of the best shooters on the Amiga. Don't get me wrong, both of them really, but yeah, just very, very impressive. So I'm glad this. So you said this was a new one to you. You'd heard about it, but you never.
Yeah, but never played it. Absolutely blown away.
Okay, so what's your score for this one then?
I'm giving this a 10 out of 10.
Wow, that is,
and that's a shooter.
Special. Yeah,
you know what I mean. Well. So yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, we're doing well here. So, yes. So that's amazing for you with shooters. I thought that would be the weak one because you don't like
shooters. I like a good shooter and a good shooter done right. Yeah. It's just that they all can be a bit samey for me. And I suppose you can say that about many games in life, but this blew me. I went back to this time and time again just for another go because I was enjoying it so much.
Right. Okay, should we go on to the next game?
Yeah, sure.
So, as you heard with that cheeky little music there, I thought as I'd made Kingy play the shooter that he wouldn't like, I thought,
but did that backfired?
Yeah, that backfired. I thought I better find him like an old dad's game to play.
An old dad's game.
So I couldn't find snooker, so I put on Side Pockets, the arcade game. So I'll pass it to you, as I know you love these sort of games.
I love Side Pocket. Now, when I met up with you in Birmingham and went to the arcades there, what was I playing?
Yes,
this very game for most of the afternoon. I adore it. I had this in my local amusements back in the day as well. Mm-hmm. And Side Pocket is the sport of pocket billiards or pool, whatever you want to call it. Because obviously traditional billiards, if you want, didn't have pockets.
Yeah.
So billiards did. But you're not actually playing billiards on this, and you're not actually even really playing pool on this game. It is more of representative of it. And what I mean by that is it's not following the rules of the game, as in, spots and stripes or whatnot, right? It is a case of you have 3 lives. You start off with the pool balls in arrangement. You can choose your angle. You can choose top spin, back spin, and the power of your cue. And the idea is for every ball that goes in the pocket, you don't lose a life. So the idea is to clear the table instead of losing life. So it doesn't matter if the black goes in first. It's not about that. It's just about potting balls, which is fine. Going back and sort of grumpy old man views, it should really be a proper game of pool. But if you added the rules on an arcade game like that, which has got a countdown timer as well, it kind of doesn't work. So I think they got it right in terms of the gameplay. So it's presented in a top-down perspective with a player shooting the cue ball to sink all these balls within that time frame. It's all about the trick shots. That's really what it comes down to. Sometimes you have to bounce off the cushions. And the physics for its time, I think, is reasonable. You know what I mean? It's just about having a bit of fun. I've always liked a game of top-down pool. I had them on even the Spectrum back in the day. There's a one by Bug Bite where I used to play all the time. And I think that's why, and I played that before because it was older than Side Pocket. So 86, this came out.
Yeah.
But the minute I saw,
doesn't it, for 86 games?
Yeah.
Really impressive, yeah.
I mean, it's a good arcade abstraction of pocket billiards than proper 8-ball or 9-ball or straight pool. Right? It's removed the strict rules. There's no real penalties, anything like that. No turn structure. It's just a case of having a bit of fun and aiming accurately and trying to get the balls in the pockets. Now, I equally had this on the SNES, which is an amazing version. I know it's on the Amiga as well, PC Engine and whatnot else. I don't know if you've played it on other systems apart from arcade at all.
I've only played Mega Drive and, for Side Pocket, I've only ever played it on I think, Mega Drive and SNES.
Okay.
I don't remember it on the Amiga. I'm going to have to look that up.
Maybe it isn't. I'm just maybe thinking wrong, but probably.
Yeah, I don't remember it on the Amiga.
I may be wrong.
I mean, one of the things is quite good as well, just so you know, because there are some sequels to it. So Side Pocket 2, also on the Genesis, because it was only American release, but also the Saturn, like the Japanese Saturn had Side Pocket 2 and even Side Pocket 3, but Side Pocket 3 turned it 3D and it lost it. But I mean, over the years, I've sort of on Voyage of Discovery sort of played it. I'll be honest, for me, I do prefer the home versions because on the arcade, as good as it is to play, it is quite brutal, isn't it? If you miss a shot,
that's it.
It's game over, and you got to put.
You get to continue at least.
You got to continue, yeah. It's not as bad as back in the day. I'm amazed you played it so diligently because this must have swallowed your money. The amount of credits I was putting in.
I used to do pretty decent back in the day. I think it didn't feel that much different from that Bug Bite one in terms of aiming. And how it worked, and I just adored it. I thought it was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
it clicked with me for whatever reason.
And it's kind of cool. You got the star. You get like it will star a pocket to try and encourage you to do.
A bit like Bomb Jack. Get the bombs in the order to get the bigger bonus. I am shit at that, and I don't even care to even attempt that.
No, I mean, I quite enjoy this one, and it's I'm with you actually. There's something about top down these sort of games. It's just more playable, isn't it? It's I don't know. Sometimes with the 3D, it's just too much. I love the simplicity of it, isn't it? With
I mean, the balls are more treated like targets in a puzzle. rather than some kind of competitive sport. So it's just a physics game of potting. It's like you're in the sports hall yourself, just practicing cueing and angles. And you do see the distinct differences between the top spin and the back spin, and you've got to use them, and you will not do well in the game unless you do use those skills if you want, right? Easy to choose, top spin obviously makes the ball shoot a lot more forward, with backspin, once it knocks the ball, it hits, it's spinning back at an angle to get it back to where you want it to be, because you still have to consider the next ball. You always have to be a ball ahead. That's key to the game, just like the sport itself, I suppose. So it's good in that sense.
I was quite surprised with this, how good the physics was. You never felt it was like bad physics particularly. Yeah, and just looking here, I mean, it got like Game Gear, Game Boy, obviously your NES's and things like that. So
definitely not Amiga. I was wrong with
not the Amiga. I
thought that. Yeah.
No, I'm just curious. I am curious. I'm going to try and track it down. I'm just looking on my list here. There's an unreleased prototype for the Mega CD called Side Pocket Special Edition. Now, I'm wondering if that's available. I might go and have a little look. Because I mean, for all my jokes, I do actually really enjoy this game, and it's one that I always like have a quick play with and things. Because I'm like you, I love your top down, no messing, sort of like pool or billiard style games, isn't it? I mean, for me, I love the arcade pool on the Amiga. That's my pinnacle, I think. But yeah, just because of the sheer options. But this is equally very, very good and a lot of fun. So, what do you give this one then?
12 out of 10.
12 out of 10.
I suppose I would twist the tables round in this one. I mean, it's hard for me to put a score on it. I mean, it's got its limits and all the rest. I mean, probably in reality, it's a 7 out of 10, but I just keep going back to it, even on my own arcade machine, everything. I play this a lot just because I love it. I can zone out and just relax, without...
But do you go for the arcade version then? It doesn't bother you, the sort of like 2 shots and your game over?
Love the arcade version because of that. It makes me want to do it better.
I'm probably 7, but on the SNES I'd probably give it an 8 or 9. For me, I prefer the additional things that you get on the console versions.
Yeah.
But I was really shocked because in my head it was, I thought it, with the physics and things, I thought it came out much later. This, because obviously the home version.
I'm not aware about it. I actually thought it was maybe a year or so earlier, to be honest, just how silly memory can be. And you try to think, when was I playing that in the arcade? Because I can go down to my local arcades now and point you out exactly where it stood. Right? It's all my favourite games. I'm thinking about it and I can see exactly where it's standing, and I'll make that beeline to it right now. If you ask, that's such a sad memory, that, isn't it?
You see, I think for me, because all the home ports, well, certainly that we saw, I mean, the NES saw 1987, but pretty much everything else, certainly the ones I knew, which was like the Europe NES and the Mega Drive and the SNES and things like that, all of those came out in the 90s. So
there's a gap.
Yeah, so I guess that's why in my head I was quite shocked when it was like, it really isn't a early game. But yeah, I think it's just a really, really, it's got it where it counts. It's got good physics. You never feel like you're being like pinball or anything like that. It feels it feels there's good weight to the balls and things like that. Yeah. And we all like weighty balls, don't we?
We like our weighty balls.
Yeah.
I think it would have been better controlling rotation with a spinner.
Yeah,
that would have been a nice. And then, therefore, you would have coveted the pure arcade version of it.
But I guess the thing they always have to think about is when you got to like the mid 80s, it was all about jammer boards and things like that. Where the years of bespoke controls was they tried to keep away from, didn't they?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Awesome. Right. Okay. So that is our penultimate game. Should we go on to the last game then?
What we got?
Well, as you heard with that cheeky little music here, this is actually the third iteration of the game. Essentially the same game, but just with a colour swap. And it is Pirate Pete, a very early arcade game. And the reason I say third iteration, because a lot of the people out there and our listeners will know this game essentially as the second iteration, which was a Jungle Hunt, because that was the one that got all the home ports. So just quick, sort of like very, very quick with the different games. So first of all, Taito came up with Jungle King, and it had Tarzan, and he did his cry, and he went swinging through the jungle, and it all made perfect sense to rescue, I guess, Jane or whoever it was, to, who's been taken by some cannibals.
Pygmies with a cauldron.
Cannibals and things like that. So all made perfect sense. But then there's this, even though it was 82, there was this pesky thing called copyright. And strange enough, the copyright holders didn't like the fact that they'd used somebody who basically was Tarzan without paying them money. So
poor Edgar Rice Burroughs' descendants.
Yes, yeah. So they reskinned it again. This was the game that everybody knew because it had like the brilliant home ports on the 2600 and all of these things. And this was Jungle Hunt. And that essentially, they basically they swapped out Tarzan for a Terry Thomas character with his, what's it called? The hunter's hat, the plinth or whatever.
Yeah. And the shorts, the khaki shorts.
And the khaki shorts. But it was essentially the same game. It was just he was swinging through the jungle and, rescuing the girl and all such like. That was up against crocodiles, the first two games. Then you get to this game, which was, I don't know why they particularly decided to do it, but I guess they decided why not reskin the game again. And they called it Pirate Pete. So this time, pretty much the same game, but instead of swinging through the jungle, you're swinging through a pirate ship, first of all.
Yep.
And it's very much where it's such simple gameplay, but it's so addictive. Basically, level one, you're swinging backwards and forwards, and then you have to just catch on to the next rope. Easy enough on the first round through it.
Well, if you're patient enough.
That's the thing. It's so easy to not be patient.
Encourages you to jump. Thinking you can make it every bloody time.
Yeah. But if you are patient and you get through it, then you get to level 2. And I've got to say, actually, I love the palette swaps and the differences that they made with this. So the underwater swimming sections, this time, instead of crocodiles, you're up against sharks. And a little bit later, like swordfish type characters. But it's got this beautiful, essentially yellow sea floor or gold. I'm not sure quite what it is, but it's there's like, the old wrecks of ships and things underneath. Still the same idea, but the idea is if you're going for score, you want to take the risk and go for the sharks and kill them with your sword. Or if you're a wimp like me, I will swim along the bottom. No, I swim along the bottom.
You can stay at the top in this version all the way every time and nothing gets you.
I didn't know that one. and then you get to the third level, which is basically you're running up the hill. That's like the Kate Bush song. And you have to jump over the bouncing boulders, and there's some big boulders you have to go underneath. And this has also very distracting snakes which is unique to this, come down from above to try and take a nip out of you as well. But it is essentially Jungle Hunt, if you love Jungle Hunt. And then you get to the final bit, don't you, Kingy?
Yeah.
Right. The final bit is when you get to the end, for some reason, there's some cannibals that have taken your love that's a pirate, and they're pirates as well. They're not cannibals here. And the other difference is there's a pirate that's hurling swords at you, which he hurls more and more. And to say, then you get the you jump and save her, and then you get congratulations, I love you. And rather worryingly, the patch on his eye, when she's kissing him, his patch light goes up, and you can see he's got an eye. So he's a
10 pirate.
10 pirate, yeah. Unlike us hardened pirates that, that have been pirates for many a year, haven't we, Kingy?
Yeah.
And the last thing I'll say with it before I pass it to you is unlike Jungle Hunt, where later levels have the monkeys on the ropes, this has parrots, which doesn't quite make as much sense, but I guess... Well, it makes a sense, I guess, for being a pirate. But yeah, it doesn't quite make the sense why the parrots are going up and down the rope, particularly slowly up the rope. So I love this game. I mean, I love all the iterations. You always see me in Arcade Club play Jungle Hunt, don't you? That's one of my go-to games always. What's your thoughts of this one?
Yeah. Well, Jungle Hunt itself was a weird one for me because I was always familiar with Jungle King. I was exposed to that.
Oh,
right? Wow. So I was lucky enough that down my way, for whatever reason, that's
probably
what was in the arcades.
Probably the bootleg version, wouldn't it? Yeah. That's the bet,
yeah. So, legally risky, all the rest. There wasn't a legal workaround of Jungle Hunt. And then you got this thematic pivot and with Pirate Pete. And it makes sense. And to be honest, it's the second strongest of the three because I just can't take to Jungle Hunt with Christopher Biggins on safari swinging through the fucking jungle.
It's Terry Thomas, surely. Terry Thomas.
I mean, it's a good example how you can have the same game mechanically and they just dress it differently. Never in history of gaming have you seen such a thing like this, where for whatever reason they've just tried to distance themselves even more legally by giving it the whole sort of pirate theme. And it works well. Swinging, whether you're swinging through vines on the first level or swinging through ropes. I think, to be honest, the sharks look more menacing than the crocodiles.
Yeah. I think
as well. I think it's a very good version. Like what you said, the color palette changes are even better.
Yeah.
In this one as well. So, in some ways, apart from the nostalgia, right, this is probably the most sort of well thought out version of it in that way that visually, I mean, so.
Yeah, no, I sort of agree. I mean, I guess, nostalgically, obviously the 2600 and Jungle Hunt, and it was such a big deal and things.
Big game.
Fun game. But did I ever tell you how I personally discovered Pirate Pete? Because I did not know about it until only a couple of years ago.
You have, but I can't remember.
Yeah. So
there was only half listening. I'm only joking. Go on.
Like our listeners, yeah. Yeah, so I bought the Taito Mini Arcade, the Taito Egret thing. Very good lineup of games. And I'm, as always, we're always quite naughty sometimes, is you always get drawn to, if Bubble and Rastan's on there, it's going to take me a while to look at the other games. And it was my granddaughter, Mira, because she was playing on it, when I set it up. And I sort of came and thought, what are you playing there? The pirate game? I'm not, because she kept on saying, can you put the pirate game on? I'm like, what pirate game? And I looked and I thought, this is Jungle Hunt. There's Jungle Hunt on it. And then I sort of fell in love with it. Because I think you're right, apart from the nostalgia, it is probably the best game. It is tougher, but in a good way, because it does mix things up a bit if you do go through some of the rounds. I mean, it does get, they've made it more of a challenge in all the right ways.
Oh, it's a classic game anyway, so I'm happy that all three, there's a little bit of story, there's a little bit of history, and I'm glad all three versions exist.
Oh, same here. But I wanted to flag it because obviously any excuse to play any of those three games. But I also wanted to flag it because for whatever reason, Pirate Pete, maybe because they worry with there's people get all huffy with the hunter's hat, isn't it? Because of colonialism and all of this. I don't know the reasons, but you seldom ever see. You can't legitimately get like Jungle Hunt for some reason. But you can get Pirate Pete, it's on Arcade Archives and it's on, it's like the Taito Egret and minis and the odd compilations here and there. So I wanted to shout it out because maybe maybe our listeners are in the same boat that I was until my granddaughter pointed it out to me that there is effectively Jungle Hunt, an even better version, really, available on all modern consoles. So that's the real sort of takeaway with it.
Yeah.
So you knew this one then, I assume?
Yeah, this one, yeah.
Was that through just Pop Choice Discovery or what?
No, probably, I think just internet information, and then you fire up on MAME because you've read it, so I was like, oh, really? And therefore you see it. But I certainly never saw this my way or in the arcades.
No. It's... But yeah, really, really good. So obviously not new to you. I know you're a fan of Jungle Hunt like me. So what do you think with this one? What's your score?
Oh, another. I mean, this trouble is better, but because of the games we played tonight, a 7. I'll give it a 7.
7. Yeah. No, I agree. I get with you. I mean, obviously, I love Jungle Hunt.
I do. I love it. It's great.
And those sort of games. But yeah, I understand what you're saying with the sort of quality, because obviously once you've, I'd still have to put it as an 8. I think for me.
Okay, I'll take that. Take that.
But well, there you go. So that's the 6 games we've chosen, and hopefully to our listeners, you'll find a lot of joy with these ones. As I say, you can enjoy playing them, just in the usual way through emulators. But let us know if you do sign up. There's, wait until there's a sale with Antstream. We've put on the Discord, there's a little channel area just because it's kind of fun to put people on the friends list. So,
have a wee chat there, join us. Yeah.
Well, Discord to chat, obviously, but also there's a particular channel on there with Antstream where we've put like our usernames and things for Antstream. And that's kind of cool because it's kind of fun, like challenging people you actually know.
Makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, because, otherwise it gets a bit soulless. Plus, if you're challenging people the chances are they're not going to be like these, like nutcasingly good people. Well, some of our listeners are, but at least you feel you've got a fighting chance of them. Yeah. So there you go. So what did you think then overall of these games?
Oh, I enjoyed the games, and I enjoyed the minute I got shader glass, I stopped being a grumpy old man, right? And visually had this overlay that made me make it look like what I wanted it to look like. So
yeah, no, it's
I've
amazing.
been flying it up most days, just for a casual 10 minutes here, a little half an hour there. It's been great, and most emulators do have their own inbuilt things these days, but you know what? It gets to the point that I'm tempted to switch them off and use this as my default go-to.
Yeah, I need to
for
try
many things as well. So
one of the things I was going to ask with it, can you? Because obviously I like full screen.
Yeah.
So can you do it full screen with it overlay on top, or does it have to be windowed?
No, full screen. Press Control. If you press Control Shift and G as a shortcut, it goes full screen.
Oh, it goes full screen. So that was the only thing I was like, because obviously it always distracts me if I play something in a window. You know what I mean? So I thought,
it does full screen.
But I've definitely, because I was really impressed with the screenshots. Perhaps to for the video version, if you could perhaps take a little bit of footage, if that's possible.
I've tried to do video footage. You're meant to be able to record it, but the NVIDIA drivers on my card just says, no, because it's overlay, I can't actually record footage.
Well, if you
I'll
could
do stills.
Just use your phone, perhaps just do a little bit of video for me.
I'll do that.
And we'll put it in for our listeners so you can see. I mean, certainly on the still pictures that you gave, I was really impressed. And
that's only to my taste and my tweaks. Everybody has their own sort of, how your eyes adjust it and all the rest, but it's so tweakable that it will cater for anybody's taste and opinions of it, and that's what I was very impressed with. It's by far the most versatile CRT simulator out there.
Well, I passed the link on to Retro Realm in the hope that they'll put some overlays on the thing.
It makes a big difference. And not, as I said, the 8-bit era is not quite as bad, but certainly for the Amiga stuff and that, it was just wonderful firing this up like that, and this really makes up. More so than any game, it was Arabian Nights that it really stood out and made the game from being great to fantastic for me, just because rather than me having to, I don't know if you do that when you're playing a very pixelated game, you end up squinting your eyes and
trying to make it.
Just for a second, just to see what it would look like back in the day.
Well, I'm definitely I definitely plan to sort of use it. Do you know whether you can make it automatically load or something like that? So I don't know.
Yeah, well, because you can work with Launchbox with it.
Ooh,
It's compatibilities with it and that. I think you can go into GitHub and stuff like that and read more about it, but it's got, you'll be able to do it. There'll be ways to do it. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
It's just having the time, isn't it, to tinker. But no,
I don't mind that way because I don't use those kind of things. I'm not one for all that fancy stuff. I use the core emulator and fire it up. I don't mind dragging overlay over and doing it. It doesn't bother me doing it like that. Yeah,
I just become such a Launchbox baby for emulators, just because it's less hoops to jump through. But no, well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, and
great fun.
Yeah, and I must admit, as I say, that to me is the biggest joy with Antstream is just going through the list. It's nice. It's always nice, isn't it, when you get somebody else do a curated list, because it makes that's why I think a lot of our listeners love these podcasts and things, because it otherwise you end up just playing the games that you knew again and again, isn't it?
Yeah, you go back to your comfort zones, or you fire a game up, even if it isn't, you fire it up for a couple of minutes, you go, oh yeah, I'll come back to it, and don't. If you hear people speaking about it and we encourage them to play along aside us, then this is where it works. And this is, we didn't want to do a huge number, especially because we're still, getting back to
life
work.
Is so busy.
This time of year now. And it's a nice, as you said, a nice easy episode to ease into 2026 with. And I'm happy. I mean, I got Antstream for $19.99 for the full year.
It's
fine. I will fire it up. And I've got all these games, but I'm not seeing them. That's your point. These things flag up there. Oh, what's this? Like Side Pocket. I mean, I that's one I go to all the time anyway. That's on perma-launch in the arcade cap every single time. But to see even it there, the little icon on the main menu of Antstream is like, that's getting well fired up, that game. It's like,
oh, absolutely. Yeah, and that's the thing. And there's so many like lesser known that you never see on compilations and things. It's just having ease of access. I mean, and also, as I say, like with the fact that you got the Spectrum and Amstrad CPC and C64 versions, often you get the multiple. I love
jumping between all three versions of the main 8-bits back in the day. I mean, I would love to see if to say Chuck Egg was up there and you've got the Dragon 32 version as well. And, I'm a sucker for jumping between all versions of a game back in the day. It's just because it's fun.
And they got some really interesting ones. Like for example, they've got obviously like Bubble Ghost, but they've also got the Game Boy version there as well, which is awesome version, and you don't often see it. So it's like really nice, that they clearly do know their mustard. You know what I mean? Really, really, really good. I'm like you. I do kind of wish, for all the right reasons, it could be like local copies, because sometimes if it will glitch out on you, which is frustrating. But but it's and sometimes you get that pixelation on the edges. Usually it's got a lot better though, I will say, since they did that deal with it, put it on the Microsoft cloud, it's got a lot better.
Right.
But I mean, you saying with sort of like discovering, I ended up spending for a whole evening. Do you remember Avenger? Just because I saw it there and I thought, oh, I remember enjoying that on the our Gremlin episode or whenever we did it.
Oh, it's a great gauntlet type.
Yeah, well, that was it, and I was just in the mood, and I just ended up playing it for ages, and it's it was just nice.
Yeah.
So anyway, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed. Welcome to 2026. Hope it will be a good year and not have too much craziness. But I'm certainly looking forward to it. It's going to be a good year with the Amiga Maxi and lots of retro goodness coming out. So
we've got lots of good episodes in the workings as well. So
I'm quite excited.
There's always discussions there. endless, to be honest. I mean, there's about 4 bubbling under with me and other guys already in the background, so it's like, no rest for the wicked, Paul.
yeah, straight back to it. All right, well, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, keep it retro.
Bye-bye.
Reshoot-R.